Welcome back to the GSL. It's good to have you guys back here. I hope you enjoyed the interviews. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Kelly. Kelly, that second game was pretty excellent.
Yeah. The ZDT? With K-Pro?
Yeah.
Very excellent.
Yeah, that one. It was pretty sick. We managed to get Kelly's hair fixed. The makeup ladies kept giving Kelly the Bieber hairdo. So that whenever she turned her face to me, Kelly managed to disappear under her hair, which she has a lot of. So we got that fixed. I think the makeup ladies keep thinking you're gonna sit.
Yeah, they
where
keep
Dan
thinking
is.
I'm gonna sit here.
Because I spent like 30 minutes explaining to them. I'm like, no, they have to see your face. They have to see your face backstage, but they had our seating arrangement different. So we're gonna go on to our next set of games here. It's gonna be Coca against Ace. Now, don't be confused. Coca was a Starcraft 1 pro from America in Starcraft 1. This is not the same Coca here in Starcraft 2. This is actually ZeNEXCoCa. He's a Zerg player in Korea. But for those of you who followed competitive international Starcraft 1, and I'm sure there are a lot of you, or I'd like to believe that because I'm a Starcraft 1 competitive player before I went to a Starcraft 2. This is a different guy. Ace is, of course, from StarTale. He's a very good player, so we're going to have some ZVP. What do you think? How do you feel about that?
Ace, in the previous seasons, we see Ace with really strong early game.
Yeah.
But later on, as he transites, he kind of always loses during mid or late game.
Yeah.
But recently on ladder, he's been playing. I've seen some of his plays, and he doesn't have any problem anymore.
That's good.
It's gonna be a really good.
Ace is he was so solid, so solid.
Coca is definitely the underdog here, though.
Yeah, I
Coca
think so.
has less experience than Ace.
Ace, we didn't hear as much from before the team league, but man, the guy was just so good. Taking out more than enough of his share of players to kind of pull through. Coca, we don't actually, even on our information sheet in front of us, we don't really have a ton to say about him, so we're going to be learning about this guy. Of course, we do have new players here in Code we haven't really seen before, as we do have a process for filtering them in. But the countdown started, so let's get ready for some ZVP action here. With Coca against Ace, ZeNEX against StarTale, here at the GSL with Kelly and Tasteless, casting some Code games for you guys on the map. Metalopolis, Tasteless trying to fill time. Korean cast are still talking. Game started. I feel bad. I always say the Korean cast are talking. Maybe I should stop doing that. Maybe I should get my act together. No, actually, I won't have to do. Well, game crashed. Gonna keep talking. Kelly, how are you enjoying? Oh, no. No, it
isn't.
Hold on. We're having some technical problems. Oh, my computer's going to be out. It's my computer's fault. It's my fault. We are actually going to start the game, though, so get ready. Over here in the bottom, the south, if you will, our Zerg player,
ZeNEXCoCa.
And now to our Protoss. Over here, on the far left, on the west side, we have
Starting Ace.
Looking spiffy in his blue jacket.
Spiffy indeed. Staying warm in that booth. I think it's actually too warm right now to actually have a jacket like that on. But I guess that has some sponsors now that I say it. I'm still in that mode now that the weather's actually finally nice. I know we told you, Kelly, when you came out here that it was going to be very cold, and then right when you got here, the weather became nice. Yeah, it is definitely that kind of weather where it's changed so quickly. I end up putting my winter snowboarding jacket on only to go outside and realize it's kind of sunny.
Looks like the Protoss is going for a Forge opening over here. Something we haven't seen so far in Code 8. So he might go for an expansion, and Forge opening is good. You can get a safe expansion. Otherwise, you can also be aggressive towards the Zerg so he can't get his base up in time. Does have a goal in his hand, that Pro.
Now, on this map, you can fast expand. We normally see the 3 warp gate expand because the area is so open. By the way, Zergling speed. This is ZeNEXCoCa. That is, of course, from the Team Zenith and the Team Next merging together.
He's definitely going for a fast expansion over there.
Absolutely.
Going to be very secure with his Forge. But we have seen a few Zerg players react with very funky builds, such as early Banelings to just take down any gateway that is in front and just take down the fast expansion of the Protoss player. We have seen that. Recently, Zergs have been using more Baneling against Protosses instead of the usual Roach and Hydra.
Yeah, I gotta say, I just don't do this build on this map. Now, if you do this build, you can transition to a lot of different things. I think my favorite, since seeing the GSL Team League, and guys, if you're Protoss, I'd recommend you try this at home. Get that fast expand up, get the gases, make sure obviously you can defend. You usually only need about 1 to 2 cannons to defend whatever they've got, as we see he's going to do here. Then what you want to do is you want to switch it up. You want to tech to a Stargate. Get 1 Void Ray, have that Void Ray go around killing Overlords or Zerglings and ZeNEXCoCa watchtowers, not caverns, watchtowers. And after that, you get a Phoenix to scout, get a Robo, pump out Colossuses, make a second Stargate, and from those 2 Stargates, you just keep making Void Rays unless they're going meter, then you make Phoenix. And basically, you sit on 2 base until you have about 170 supply. Eventually, you're going to have additional minerals, so you make a bunch of gateways, make Stalkers, upgrade Blink, and of course, with the Forge, upgrading +1 attack, armor +2, +3. And you'll end up with so many Void Rays, you'll have about 5 Colossuses, because you really don't want to make more than 5 Colossuses or 6 Colossuses, because when you really think about it, that's just silly. They're not all going to be doing damage at once, they're going to be bumping into each other. And then you go ahead and you just do this push, double expanding, pushing towards the Zerg, and you usually melt whatever they have. And that is my very long-winded and detailed explanation of one of the many builds you can do, the one I prefer to use, and we see he is going to go with the Stargate. Let's see if he gets a Robo after this. One of my many builds I like to do on this map.
Zerg is actually doing all the right things at the moment. The moment he saw the fast expansion coming up from the Toss player, he knows that he's not in any immediate danger, and he's going for the Protoss is going for our first Void Ray right now. But early on, when the Zerg saw that there was a fast expansion, he went straight and drone up all the way. ZeNEXCoCa is definitely the underdog here because SC Ace has so much experience. And if you guys watched Hazen and Atos' cast of SIG games yesterday, you know that he has a lot of Zerg partners to practice with him in the SC house, especially July.
Yeah, definitely July. July Zerg, by the way, eliminated MVP.
Going for Hydra before. So, such an early Hydra then from him.
Well, you know, it's you either go Hydras. I mean, you go Hydras, or you get an Evolution Chamber and a bunch of Queens. I mean, Hydras, you're going to get them anyways. And frankly, as a Protoss, I am much more scared of Void Rays than I am of Hydras. And here we see it looks like he's going to do the build I was talking about. Robotics Facility up next. And by the way, guys, the build that we're seeing, at least thus far, this is a solid build. I use this. I play Masters. I know they ask these questions or Atosis sometimes. They are actually planted questions to help the noobs out. But you can definitely do this build. It's very strong. I wouldn't be surprised to be 2 bases for a long time. And there's the second Phoenix I was talking about.
We're going to see some harassments from the Toss player here, coming in with his Phoenix to scout and see what build the Zerg is going for. And that's right. Hazel takes care of all the noobs. He takes care of them. Sees a Hydra and a Queen though. He's going to be very happy.
Well, all he needs to do is see the third base, and that's what the whole point of getting the Phoenix out. And thank you, I do take care of the noobs. I got to play the noob role when Artosis in here, though. He's supposed to be the hyper analyst. I'm supposed to be more of the play-by-play kind of making sure people who don't play the game know. Well, but he's not here, so I'm going to have to do his thing. Now, he does get an Observer.
Seems like he's getting a Colossus up.
Yep, Colossus next. He has the extra minerals, so he does get those gateways. Now, we got to see if he'll get the second Stargate or not. If you want to be very aggressive earlier, which I don't prefer to do because I just find it, frankly, easier to sit on 2 bases and I still get the same raw strength for my push. I get the second Stargate. Let's see, though, what he does. +1 attack on the way.
Zerg player has his third base up pretty safely. You do see a couple of sentries and an observer already out on the field for the Toss player. Hydras are patrolling the main base of the Zerg at the moment. Evo Chamber almost up. Couple of Roaches and Hydras coming in. He's going to prepare for the big push from the Protoss player. Already getting Thermal Lances. who is already getting Thermal Lenses and getting Spire to prepare for the Colossus. So we'll probably be seeing some Corruptors. See a Roach, Hydra, Corruptor army, maybe going up against a Colossus, White Ray, Gateway army. The pretty standard Zerg versus Protoss build, but the Zerg really needs more production because Protoss' units are much more cost efficient.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Protoss can, if he wants to, try to just control the gold base. The problem for Protoss, though, well, I shouldn't say it's a problem. One of the concerns for Protoss is if you actually try to occupy gold, you're asking for the Zerg to attack you. So if you want to play a very passive game, you shouldn't do that. So he's doing a variation of the build I was talking about. He actually is going to just massive ground units off 5 gate. And we should be getting Blink, I believe, next. Let's see. What's it going to be? We don't know yet.
Most probably Blink. You should be right, Tasteless.
I should be right.
Most of the time.
I don't understand what the world is if I'm not right.
Looks like he's going for a third expansion.
Yeah. And
gonna attack and expand at the same time.
Zerg is just checking, and I like how he's using the split rate, by the way, to check the Zonaga watchtowers to see if there's any Zerglings there. That way Zerg is sort of in the dark. Can't put an Overlord there.
Getting a Baning Mass.
We have seen with these guys that go Mass Stalker. I was talking to Artosis about this yesterday before he got sick and had to go home. But, you know, one thing about really good Protoss is that they get so many force fields you can never engage them, so you load up your Overlords and try to drop Banelings on them. And how on earth can a Protoss deal with that? Well, why wouldn't you just force build your own army? Split them up. That way the Banelings, when they're dropped, they can't just be dropped all in the right places. So I'm curious if that's something we're going to see as the game develops more and more.
Well, this warrior is scouting around, seeing if the Zerg is getting a 4th base. Doesn't see a 4th base. And Overlord is going to come in and have a look what is happening in the TOS base. Sees a number of gateways there. Know that the TOS is going to prepare for a push really soon. The Protoss is probably waiting for 3 Colossus to be up before he pushes. Corruptors are on their way. Another Overlord flying in. Not sure if that was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a bit peculiar. A lot of Corruptors. For those Zergs out there, be very careful how many Corruptors you get when you win the battle, if you win the battle, and you kill up all the Colossuses. Keep an eye on him. Check and see if he's going to keep on getting Colossus, because you don't need to make Corruptors otherwise unless you plan on transitioning into Broodlord.
Warrior is charging up.
You know, if he's not careful...
Under the hatchery.
I was about to say, yeah, Zergs might have to cancel that.
Here he comes. Gonna try to take down the third
I don't
base.
know if Zerg should actually attack right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad position for him to attack because the sentries can actually make a lot of force fields and cut his army to half.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of cannons at the third base at the moment. Well, not a lot, but enough. Enough cannons to stop the Zerg. He's gonna go ahead for that 4th expansion. Has 2 Hydra protecting him at the moment. Getting an in-base hatch, which is good. In case his whole army gets taken out by the Protoss player, he needs to reproduce really fast.
If you guys want to know a really sick trick you can do, it doesn't look like we're going to see it this game. Load up just 1 or 2 of the Overlords up with Zerglings and select the rest of them, so you have about a dozen Overlords. You want to send those Overlords, all of them, into his main and start to unload those Zerglings. That's going to trigger the Protoss to send his whole army back into his main. Then you counterattack